It is March 4th, 2024. Hey, did you ever hear what Jerry Salone said about playing defense on Michael Jordan?
What's that?
He said, in my prime, I could have handled him. He said, then again, of course, when I was in my prime, he was only 12. What's up, y'all? We are the HoopStorians. I am Tony Styles. That is unique over there. Let's get into this date in NBA history. March 4th, 1998. Arbitrator John Freerick upheld the NBA suspension of Latrell Sprewell for the 97-98 season, resulting in a monetary penalty of 6.4 million, finding the NBA's investigation was done in good faith, was fair and adequate. Freerick also found the NBA complied with the standards of industrial due process. He reduced the NBA's suspension to the extent it had included approximately 1 month of the 98-99 season. However, the arbitrator reinstated Sprewell's contract with Golden State for the 99 and 2000 seasons, finding the combination of one season suspension and a contract termination would not be appropriate under all the circumstances. What were your thoughts on Sprewell choking the shit out of PJ Carlissimo?
Um, First of all, the fact that you have to be extremely frustrated to start choking somebody out, like that's one of those things where that's not your initial reaction to choke somebody. Usually, when somebody gets you to the point where you're choking, they didn't tick you off. I don't know if there were signs, but I'm assuming there might have been. I don't know if anybody knows his personality, but that doesn't seem like something where he's just mild mannered and then all of a sudden he's just got your throat in his hands. So
Well,
my
what happened
thoughts
is,
are
well, I was gonna say what happened was is Carlissimo, he um he basically was riding Sprewell's ass all year about his clothes, his headphones, his hair. He was like a college coach. He was used to more so like a structured program, and that shit don't really fly. For example, he was always complaining about Sprewell's clothes. Sprewell's like, look, man, the way I've had my agent look over the contract, you guys can find me $500 per clothing game. um, he said, "Well, we got 41 road games, so just take 20,500 for me and shut the fuck up."
right. Exactly. So it goes back to what I was saying. Them signs are there. You keep poking at this person. It's only a matter of time before they gonna react. So
Well, that was this
that's
day in
that.
NBA history. All right, let's get into the topic of the night. I want to start breaking down. I've been seeing some memes lately. I want to break down each player, their position per decade, who really had the best season. Um, some are by the numbers, some are by like what we saw and the impact they had. But we're gonna go by what's up, Cam Killer Cam? What's good?
What up,
Um,
bro?
so we're gonna break it down position by position, and we're gonna start off in the 40s. Did you give me anything for the 40s, or you want me to just go with my 40s list?
Man, that's way too far right now. Go ahead. I'm curious. I want to see what this is about for the 40s.
Okay, okay, and obviously as we go on in time, more stats will come, but we didn't have all the stats
Mhm.
there. Um, so first up, we got Bob Davies at point guard. His 49 season, he averaged 15 points, 5 assists on 36% shooting. Next up is Max Zafalowski. His these are all from the 49 season, which is crazy, but he averaged 21 points, 3 assists on 35% shooting. Jim Pollard at the three, he's 15-3 with 40% shooting. Joe Fulks, 26 points, 1 assist, 31% shooting. They didn't keep rebound track of rebounds back then either. And George Mikan, 28 points, 4 assists, 42% shooting. What do you think of the best players from the 1940s?
They were getting it in. That's some stiff competition right there. I don't know. I mean, I don't really think much of it, to be honest.
Let me ask you a question. How far back in time do you think we would have to go for you to be the best player in the world? where they're
For
like
me
with
personally,
you personally, right? Where they're like, dude, this dude's doing some shit I ain't never seen. We can't stop him.
I don't know, bro. It'll probably be in the 1800s or something like that.
You don't think you could have made the NBA in the 40s?
I mean, maybe in the 40s, but I don't think I would have been dominating them like that. I mean, the way they was playing in the 40s, maybe, but I don't think so.
That is correct. Jumping Joe, folks. He was killing the game at 15 points, 3 assists, 40% shooting, which was really high back then. Um, so, I mean, do you think you could have been an all-star, all-NBA player in the 40s?
I think I could have been an all-star. Yeah. I don't
Do
know.
you
I
think
was
you
kind
could?
of quick though.
No, you were. That's what I'm saying. Do you think they could have? You think you could have got shot 45% with floaters,
Yeah.
teardrops, a crossover,
Yeah. I
a
mean, if
jump
I'm
step?
taking, so that's crazy. So are you saying at my peak,
Your
taking
peak.
that? Okay, at my peak, taking that back to possibly the 40s. How would I fare against them? Yeah, I'll probably be an all-star. I
They
don't
ain't
know
never
what I
seen
would
nothing like
average.
you.
Yeah,
Well, I don't know.
yeah.
15-3 on 31% shooting seems pretty standard. That might get you top of your class. Because I really believe that. All I got to do is shoot 30%. All I got to do is
Think
shoot
you could do it?
30%, and I could be one of the best players. In the 40s, um, yeah, so it depends. So if I went back in time with my knowledge and knowing how to train and all that, what to
Yeah.
eat, what to do, that, yeah. If I was, just me in the 40s, probably not. So, so,
I feel like that. That's why it's hard to that's hard to answer that one. But yeah, I feel you.
no, it definitely is. Speaking of some wild stuff, do you remember when we were talking about getting 40 rebounds? Can anybody get 40 rebounds anymore? Did you see what Nurkic did the other
Mhm.
night? He had 31 boards in 32 minutes. So if they would have played him some more, he could have hit the 40 mark.
No, I missed that one. That's crazy.
Yeah, last night he had 31 rebounds in 32 minutes.
That's the thing. Nights and nights, you never know what can happen. It's a matter of whether these players want to rise to the occasion, whether these players want to reach their full potential, or if they want to ride it out for the money.
No, I feel you on that. Let's get into the 50s. You got anybody for the 50s for me?
50s, 50s, yeah. See who I
Okay,
got
so I'll
for the
go back and
50s.
forth. So I got Bob Cousy's. We'll start at the point. I got Bob Cousy's 55 season. He averaged 21 points, 6 assists, 8 rebounds, 40% shooting. Who you got for point?
I have Bob Cousy, but his 57th season, averaging 20.6, 4.8 rebounds, 7.5 assists, got an MVP, All-Star game MVP, 41 and 23 record, first team.
No, they shot in the 30s and the 40s, 40s and the 50s. Few shot in the 50s and the 60s. Wilt shot 70. Wilt one season, yeah, he led the league with 72-7, I think was his, but he was only scoring like 14 a game. So it wasn't, because when Wilt was scoring 50 a game, he was only shooting about 50%. So you got Kuzi. What year was your Kuzi one again?
57.
Yeah, the first year they won the title. Um, for two guard, I got Bill Sharman in 58. He averaged 22, 5, and 3 at 42% on the shooting. Where'd you have him at? Or what'd you have for your two guard?
Um, you know what?
Hmm.
I don't even have my I don't even know who I have for two guard anymore.
Okay, well with my third, I had George Yardley in 59. He averaged 28, 11, and 1 with 41% shooting. Then I had my boy Bob Pettit in 59. The whole front court was 59. He was 29, 16, 3 at 44%. And then Bill Russell at 17, 23, 3 at 46%. I think it's crazy when you think of all the scores and the non scores that Bill Russell would lead the 50s team in field goal percentage at 46%. Would you consider him a non factor? Who else you got for the 50s?
For the 50s, we talking guards or just everyone?
Everyone. Who you got for each position?
Hold on, go ahead, man.
Well, I think it's odd that we got someone like Bob Pettit and Bill Russell, who I think by far were the two best players in the 50s, even though Bill Russell got there, in 56. So he only played what 3.5 seasons there. George Yardley, most people won't know about him. Bill Sharman's Hall of Fame, Boston Celtics guard. Bob Cousy, the Houdini of the hardwood. Um, I just think it's weird when we start, going through these players and their seasons, how some of the all-time greats don't even make it because there's one player that has just a one better season, because we've seen players with a lower level of greatness. Like, for example, Chauncey Billups outplayed Kobe in the '04 finals. Obviously, Chauncey Billups is nowhere near the player Kobe is, but I think it's wild looking at some of these. Did you get your people for the '50s or no?
I'm trying to pull my stuff back up, man. I lost everything on my phone. I didn't crack my whole screen. My bad, bro.
No, it's all good. Um, so Well, that's just kind of what I was saying. Yardley over Arizin is kind of crazy. Don't get me wrong, he's the better player overall, but he didn't have the better season in the '50s over him, and that's why we went with Yardley. Or at least I went with Yardley over it. Um, but really, the thing is, so much with the '50s is the teams, the players, they were figuring out so much what they were, and how to play basketball. I mean, we didn't have the shot clock until a couple seasons into the '50s. People were putting up 19 and 18 games. We didn't keep track of rebounds the first couple seasons in the '50s. Obviously there was no 3-point. Red Auerbach revolutionized the '50s with the fast break. He was pumping out videos for that. That was a completely foreign concept. If we run up past the defense, we can get a better shot. That wasn't even a concept until until the '50s. And then Red Auerbach, like I said, there's a video of him floating around explaining how to properly run the fast break and all the benefits it can bring, because they didn't even run the '50s and all that. So if you can't find your screen, you know what I mean. It's cool. We'll just go off my list and you tell me what you think.
I'm so it's bro, it's crazy.
It's all good. So let's move on to the '60s. So I went kind of a switch, because I kind of cheated on this one. So actually, I got a fun little fact that's crazy before we get into this. Do you realize in 1962, Bob Pettit came in sixth in MVP voting?
In
He
62,
scored in '62. He averaged 31 and 19, and that was sixth. Behind him was Richie Guerin. He averaged 36 and 7. Bob Cousy was eighth at 16 and 8. Jerry West was fifth at 31, 8 and 5. Elgin Baylor was fourth at 38, 19 and 5. Oscar that was his triple double year. He came in third. That was Wilt Chamberlain's 50-point season. He came in second. And Bill Russell won the MVP at 19, 24 and 5.
1924. See, that's crazy. But it goes back to what you were talking about earlier, though, how people can have better seasons, better runs, but different factors can catapult you to the top as far as MVP standings.
The Hawks were awful. They were only won 29 games that year. They were 29 and 51. However, though, I'm just saying it is crazy when we think about, people are talking about the MVP race this year. You got Luka, 35 a game, not really in the conversation. Embiid, 35, out probably for the year. If so, he's going to come back with a few weeks left and he's not going to make the game, so he's not even going to be in on it. So, those are two statistically anomaly seasons, and I don't even know if where necessarily you would have them in the race. I think Embiid was the front runner, but
Yeah,
right
he
now,
started off that way.
right, it's probably Jokic right now, and then it's probably SGA, and it's probably Giannis, and those are probably the top three guys. But you factor in the '62 season. What stands out that about you have 7 guys putting up crazy numbers, and then you have like a fan favorite pick in Kuzi at like 16 and 8. Do you think we're ever going to see something like that again, where we have all that, where we have a 31 and 19 guy coming in sixth?
Yeah,
You
I
think we
do
will see that again?
actually. Um, Unfortunately, yeah, because as players get more popular, things start getting bent as far as the rules, as far as voting goes, as far as accolades and awards and stuff like that. Sometimes they'll cater in a league, they'll cater to awarding a specific player just based off popularity. So long as they give you enough to try to justify it, they'll spin it. Um, I mean, this might be something to look into in the future. Does everybody win the award the year that they're supposed to? Or, does the right award go to the right player each year?
Do you feel as if Bill Russell should have won the MVP in '62, or do you think maybe it should have went to Oscar's team? Do you think maybe it should have went to Wilt's with his 50, Elgin with his 38 and 19, or do you think
And
what the right one?
with everything that was going on, I mean, I could have seen them trying to justify going any which way. Me, I guess it would depend on what it was I was personally looking for the season, how much importance I placed on individual success as far as team success as well. So I don't have a problem winning, but I
Well,
can
let's go
see
with
other.
this. So Wilt won 8 more games than Elgin Baylor, for example, right? But he averaged 19-24. Elgin was 38 and 19. Would the stats make up the difference because they had the first and second best record?
Yeah, first and second best record. You gotta go with the individual at that point.
So
Right. So
and then Wilt, he had the third best record, and he was 50 and 26.
50 and 26.
50 points, 26 boards. Third best record in the league.
Yeah, yeah, that's one of them. How do you ignore that? You really can't.
Well, the NBA did in '62, and that's why they went with that. So for my '60s teams is I got Oscar Robertson at the point. His '62 season, he was 31 points, 13 rebounds, 11 assists, 48% from the field. Um, Then I got Jerry West at the two. His '66 season, he's 31 points, 7 rebounds, 6 assists, 47% from the field. I got Elgin
Mhm.
Baylor's '62 season. Everybody else is 62 except West. Elgin Baylor's 38, 19, 5 with 43%. Bob Pettit's 31, 19, 4 and 45%. And Wilt's 50, 26, 2 assists, 61, 51%. You got any problems with those? Anybody else you're thinking of? Maybe that they should have got supplanted?
No, my bad. I feel something. But no,
No.
I got no problem with that.
Um, do you think in the '60s where we really started seeing the takeoff of more, I guess what I was going to say is more common stats that we're seeing now? People are finally starting to hit around 50%, 45. We have a full decade of rebounds, assists, you know, points. Or do you think there's a big gap from the '50s to the '60s players? Because I do.
I mean, it's looking like it. I mean, just based off the numbers. I mean, the '60s, we have people like Oscar Robertson bringing triple doubles into the equation and stuff like that. So with that, that's giving players different things to thrive for. You feel me? And with triple doubles, obviously, there's going to come more points. Um, so
Yeah, because if you look at the '60s, like just my top five, Elgin Baylor is the guy that made the lowest field goal percentage at 43% for my team for the '60s, and he would have been the best in the '40s, and he would have been the third best in the '50s. So that's where it just seems like it's stepping up and stepping up and stepping up. Um, in the '70s, my bad. Um, in the '70s, so I got Nate Archibald's '73 season where he led the league in points and assists in the same season at 34 and 11, shot 49%. Only player to ever do that. I got him at point. I got the Iceman, George Gervin, or Ice. He told me that once. He goes, I was never the Iceman, I was just Ice. And they started saying Iceman. But he averaged 27 points, a block, 2 steals, 4 assists, 5 boards, 54% shooting. I have a Havlicek 71 season. He was 29 points, 9 rebounds, 8 assists, 45% shooting. Bob McAdoo's at power forward, his 79 season, 27 points, a block, 2 steals, 3 assists, 10 rebounds, 54%. And then I
Mm.
got Kareem's 71 season. He's 34 points, 17 rebounds, 5 assists, 57 from the field goal. You got any problem with those guys? Anybody else you want to add? Anybody else you think I missed?
No problem with the list. For you, are they ranked for you as far as who had better seasons, or is this just looking through it, just figuring out, okay, this was a good year, this was a good year for this player, this was a good year for them. Like, did you rank any of them as far as I would have preferred this player season to that at all?
Yeah, so coming up, definitely there's a couple, and like I'll go into it when I have a couple of them like right off the top of my head that I was like, just watching. Obviously I wasn't around in the '70s to watch this,
Right, right,
so
right.
this is through historic, this is through numbers, this is through what the team did or whatever. But some of these it'll be like, here I'll give you an example. I have a Kobe season coming up where I got him on the list. His team played like shit, but he played awesome. And his numbers ain't that great, but just watching him that year and the way he carried the team, the way he played, he was awesome. And there's
Okay.
definitely been better numbers by Kobe. There's been better, there's probably a better Wade season in there statistically, things like that. So, if I watch them, then yeah, then I factor in the watching them, the eye test of as well. But with when I go back to the 50s, I just kind of look at the numbers, what the team did, things like that. What I remember historically hearing about it at the NBA at 50, the NBA at 75, the books I've read, the stories, the stats I've broke down, that kind of thing. So, why would you
Okay.
factor in when you were ranking them?
For what I was ranking, it was really looking at the decades and just deciding, okay, what was the better year doing or within the decades. And yeah, like I felt like within certain decades, okay, this player may not have had all the success, but looking at the numbers, that was a good season for them. So stuff like that is what I was factoring in. But I didn't go as far as thinking about or considering based on the seasons and everything like that, which individual season or which player would I have looked at as having the better overall. So when you were talking, that question crossed my mind. Like, I wonder if that's something that he took into consideration.
Well, let me ask you this, just based off what we'll go with this. Let's just, we'll have you rank the seasons
Hmm.
in order. So, if I had to guess, I would say, would you have Kareem's season of 34 points, 17 rebounds, 5 assists, 57% shooting over Tiny Archibald's 34 points, 11 assists, 49%, 3 rebounds, only player ever to lead the league in assists and scoring in the same year? Which season would you pick number one out of those?
I will go with Tiny's on that one.
Okay, and then you got Kareem at two, and then we have Gervin, Havlicek, McAdoo. Havlicek was 29, 9, and 8. McAdoo was 27, 10, and 3. Gervin was 27, 5, and 4. Havlicek scored the most points, had the worst field goal percentage. McAdoo and Gervin each shot 54%. Where would you rank those?
When you say Havlicek had the worst field percentage, how low? I mean, how much worse was
45,
it? He had a
45 versus
45,
54. Versus 54.
54. And he's taking how many more shots than
He was taking three more. I think he was at like 22. They were at 19.
I guess I want to lean towards Havlicek.
That's fine. I mean, I don't think there's any wrong answers here, really. Then who would you have, McAdoo or Gervin? I think you got to go McAdoo after that because he was a double double.
Yeah,
What about in the '60s? Would you have Wilt's 50 and 26 number one?
yeah.
Then after that, would
That's
you have Pettit?
that's a
Would you
crazy
rather
number. Like, I'm sorry, like that's just blasphemy. Like, but that goes back to what I was saying. Like, if you're not that popular, or if it don't fit the narrative for that season, I
who
digress. Go ahead, my bad.
who would you have second? You can have Bob Pettit's 31 and 19, Elgin Baylor's 38 and 19, Jerry West 31 7 and 6, Oscar Robertson's 31 13 and 11.
Oscar
Elgin's got
Robertson.
Oscar's got the number 2. Then you got Elgin, Pettit, or West. Who you got after that?
What was Pettis numbers again?
31 19 4 assists, 45%. Elgin Baylor was 38 19 5 assists, 43%. Jerry West was 31 7 6 and 47%.
I would go Pettit, Baylor West.
Pettit, Baylor, West. I feel you on that. Let's move on to the 80s. This is when I started getting good. This is when I started factoring what they meant to the team, what the team was, things
Yeah,
like that.
yeah, yeah.
More memories, things like that. Okay, so I got Magic at point in '87. You gonna rank these two 1 through 5. So keep on. He scored 24 a game, a block, 2 steals, 12 assists, 6 rebounds, 53% from two, 21% from three, 52% overall, 85 from the line.
You
I
said
got
52 overall?
with 52 overall. Yeah. I got Jordan's 88 season. He's 35, 2 blocks, 3 steals, 6 assists, 6 rebounds, 55 from two, 13% from three, 54 overall, 84% from the line. I got Bird's 85 season. He's 29, a block, 2 steals, 7 assists, 11 boards, 52 from two, 43 from three, 52 overall, 88% from the line. I got Barkley's 87 season. He's 23, 2 blocks, 2 steals, five assists, 15 rebounds, 64% from two, 20% from three, 59% overall, 76 from the line. Then I got Hakeem's 89 season. He's 25 points, 3 steals, 3 blocks, 2 assists, 14 rebounds, 51% from the field, didn't shoot threes, 51 overall, 70% from the line. First off, you got any problems with my selection? You got anybody else you think should be in there?
Nah, that's a solid starting lineup for real. I can't even.
So rank them
Yeah.
1 through 5. Who you got? Who you think had the best out of that?
Um. First of all, Barkley's numbers are crazy.
I know, dude. People don't realize how poor he shot like 26% from three, but how staggering he was from two, which made you wonder why did you shoot threes at all, Barkley, or why didn't you at least practice them if you was gonna pop that many?
Those numbers is crazy. Um. Okay. Um.
He was Zion Williamson before Zion was Zion, because Zion shoots like that. Except Barkley had more D.
I was liking Hakeem and Bird.
Can we read off their numbers again?
Yeah, because I think I had it. Hakeem Bird, Magic, Barkley. Yeah, read the numbers again.
Okay, so Hakeem is 25, three
Mhm.
steals, 3 blocks, 2 assists, 14 boards, 51%, and 70% from the line. Bird is 29, a block, 2 steals, 7 assists, 11 boards, 52 from 52 from the two, 43 from three, 52 from um, overall, and 88 from the line. And if anybody wants to add anything in the comments, please y'all can help us rank them too.
Thinking Bird. Um,
So you got Bird at 1.
yeah.
Yeah, 85 Bird was tough, man. He had no holes in his game. Even though he was slow and couldn't jump, he still had no holes in his game.
Hey, you can use that to your advantage, as we're seeing.
Well, it
AKA.
it works. It works if you're slow and you can't jump and you're taller than most of the people. Like it worked for Bird, it works for Jokic. It wouldn't work for Earl Boykins.
or you would have to have something like if you're not that tall, like if you stocky, like if you can move people around, you just gotta have some type of physical benefit.
You mean like Larry Blurred?
Advantage. Exactly, exactly, just like that.
That dude's moving so slow, nobody can stop him.
That's the
So
wildest thing I've ever seen.
yeah, I would agree with the 85 Burr is the perfect fantasy player. He shoots well from the line. He shoots well from the field. He shoots well from three. He gets you assists, rebounds, and points. He gets you steals, blocks. He gets you everything. So you got eight. So you got Bird number one. So that means you what? You got Hakeem two. That's crazy getting three steals from your center. While he's also giving you, I think he got you 2.6 steals and 3.4 blocks.
How does your center even get into as a center? How do you even get in a position to steal? Like
Well, here's what happened a lot with him. They would put him in pick and roll, and he'd jump the pick and roll and rip the guy and rip the ball handler. So there was no the pick and roll did not benefit when Hakeem was playing pick and roll. Um, so you got him. So who you got after that? You got Magic, Jordan, or Barkley.
Magic.
24, 12, 53% from the field, 52 from the field, 53 from two, 85 from the line. Okay. Then what about Jordan or Barkley?
um Jordan and Dan Barkley.
So
Well,
you
hold
got to
on.
do.
No. Hold on. You said Jordan was what? Did you say 30 or 13 from the three?
He was 13 from three. He was 55 from two. He was 54 overall. He was 35 a game, two blocks, three steals, six assists, six rebounds.
Okay, so I'm going Barkley, then Jordan. I thought I heard 30 from three. 13, yeah.
Yeah. So you got a guy averaging 35 a game, and you think he's he's got the worst season out of these guys by the numbers.
It's crazy, right?
That is insane. I told you he had the worst retired jersey ever.
I'm not
So
sure that's what that means, but yeah.
so let's get into the 90s. We'll see if you got
Hmm.
anybody else. So I actually for my point guard, I got Kevin Johnson. I got his 1990 season. He's getting you 23 points, no blocks, a steal, 11 assists, four rebounds, shooting 51% from two, 20% from three, 50 overall, 84 from the line. I got Jordan's 93 season. Here we go. So this is an example right here. 93 Jordan was the best Jordan I ever saw. And can't nobody tell me different. 93 playoff Jordan was the best Jordan I ever saw. So I always pick 93. Now that he didn't have the best numbers, but still 93 Jordan when I saw when the pressure was on, when he was down 0-2 against the Knicks, what he did to the Suns that year, how he swept the Cavs and the Hawks in the first two rounds. Just 93 Jordan was that dude, So yeah, I go 93 Jordan. Anyways, he averaged 33 points, a block, three steals, six assists, seven rebounds, 51 from two, 35 from three, 50 overall, 84 from the line. Then I got the next year, Scotty without Jordan at the three. 94 Scotty, he's 22 a game, a block, three steals, six assists, nine rebounds, 52 from two, 32 from three, 49 overall, 66 from the line. I got MVP Barkley, his 93 season. He's 26, a block, two steals, five assists, 12 rebounds, 56 from two, 31 from three, 52 overall, and 77%. And then I have Hakeem's 93 season as well. He's 26 points a game, four blocks, two steals, four assists, 13 rebounds, 53% from the field, no threes, 78 from the line. You got anybody else you want to add? Think I missed anybody? Anybody you were going to throw in there?
Mm, no, I mean that's pretty much the people that I would have on my list. Let me see. Mm,
Well, I want to say
I would,
this. A lot of people do like 92 Jordan. I didn't like 92 Jordan because I think the Cavs stayed with him a lot longer than they should have. They won 67 games. The Blazers stayed with him. They just didn't seem as dominant in the postseason. Jordan didn't see as dominant. In that game six closeout, he was riding the bench when the Bulls made their comeback. So, yeah, I like 91 Jordan and 93 Jordan over 92 Jordan. But any one of those three, you really can't go wrong with.
mm,
So, is there
see. I had
anybody
to
you want to
think
add?
about. I had to think about those positions. No. Um,
Okay, so let's rank them. So who you got first? Jordan, Kevin Johnson, Scottie Pippen, Charles Barkley, Hakeem.
I have Jordan first,
Me too.
um, Akeem second,
Hmm.
Barkley, Scotty, then Kevin. No, Barkley. Yeah, Barkley, Scotty, then Johnson.
I'd rank it pretty much the same way. Um, Maybe I could flip Hakeem with Jordan, but Hakeem just didn't have the team back then. Let's get into the 2000s next. Um, I got 2007 Nash. He averaged 19
Mhm.
points. He got you 0 blocks a game on average. He got you 1 steal. He got you 12 assists. He got you a rebound a quarter. He shot 58 from the two, which is stunning. He shot 46 from three. Shot 53 overall. He shot 90% from the line. You got any problem with Nash? I wanted to throw that Chris Paul season in there, but I just remember how much Nash made his team a contender over Chris Paul. Chris Paul has the better numbers, the better defense. See, this is one of those years like I saw what Nash did, and his team was in such a better position with him at the helm.
Yeah, I mean, during that Nash era with Phoenix, he was something phenomenal. Like, to be honest, I've never seen so many Phoenix fans before in my life. But yeah, it was just watching what he was able to do with that unit and watching him go from basically one of those players that was not necessarily a role player, but he did have more of a role on Dallas. Whereas coming to Phoenix, he just completely just shook up the league, and he was able to show that I'm the best player here right now. So yeah, I
Yeah,
feel you.
yeah. In those runs, I saw him be better than Kobe in a playoff series. I saw him be better than Dirk in a playoff series. So those are some all-time greats.
Mm,
Next up for my two guard, I got McGrady in 2003. He averaged 32 points, a block, two steals, 6 assists, 7 rebounds, 48 from two, 39 from three, 46 overall, 79 from the line. Any problem with McGrady?
no,
Even over Kobe's 35-point season, because everybody's always telling me how nuts I am for that.
yeah, but at the same time, and watching basketball during that time, you already know Kobe and T Mac could have, they basically were images of each other on different teams. So you feel me? If you would have put Kobe on any one of the teams T Mac played for, you probably would have seen the same level of success and vice versa. You put T Mac on the Lakers and he probably would have did the same thing that Kobe did. So
Yeah,
with that,
I
I can't really argue if a person is putting T Mac's season ahead of Kobe's, especially when he's putting up very mirroring numbers.
Yeah, I think Kobe obviously from 96 to 2000 was better than McGrady. I think McGrady was better from 2000 to 2005. And I think Kobe was better from the rest of the years on after that. But people be like, "You're such a Kobe hater." Like I'm not, bro. Like I watched it. I watched McGrady put up more efficient offensive numbers while the defense doubled him and tried to get the ball and tried to stop him versus Kobe, who got to play one on one while they tried to double Shaq and put up worse efficient numbers.
I mean, it's like this. Excuse me. McGrady was very similar to Kobe, just what, an inch or two, inch and a half taller. So
McGrady
he
was
has
2 inches taller, a lot
2 inches
longer.
taller. So he's 2 inches taller than Kobe, but he does the same thing as far as attack wise. So he can attack the rim the same way as Kobe. He can come off the dribble the same way as Kobe. And when he shoots, it's probably going to drop more than Kobe's. So he had many advantages. It was like he can play like Kobe, but he has the advantage of being longer.
Okay. Mhm. So next up for the three, I got LeBron. His '09, his first MVP season, 28 points, a block, 2 steals, 7 assists, 8 boards, 53 from two, 32 from three, 48 overall, 78 from the line. You got any problems with me putting LeBron at the three for the 2000s?
No,
You know, I really wanted to. I thought I was going to go in. I thought I was going to put 2000 Grant Hill in there. That's what I went in to do. That's what I was thinking I was going to do. And then I was just like, I mean, LeBron led his team to 66 wins. Grant Hill's team were in the 40s. Grant Hill got bounced in the first round, although he did have the broken ankle at the time. But, all LeBron's numbers are better. Um, yeah.
You know, you know what's funny? I actually thought you was gonna have Grant somewhere in the 90s. So I wasn't wanting Scotty off the list, but at the same time I was shocked when I heard Scotty over like a Grant Hill. So I was like, oh,
Well,
but yeah.
what's crazy is this. When everybody was thinking about Grant Hill and being the scoring threat he was only like 21 a game.
Mhm.
2000, he bumped it up to like 25.8, I want to say. First time he got over 25, and that's when he fractured his ankle and he was never the same. So I mean, maybe that was going to be the next evolution of Grant Hill, that 25, 30 point score, as opposed to that early 20. But then I looked at I think Grant Hill was a little bit better distributor, a little bit better rebound, but not by much. But I think Scotty
Mhm.
was leaps and bounds better defensively than Grant Hill.
Yeah.
um and then he was scoring more points. So I mean, why would I go Scotty? And then Scotty led his team to the second round, and Grant Hill never could do that. So I had to go with Scotty in that regard. For my four of the 2000, I have Garnett's MVP season. He went 24 points, two blocks, two steals, 5 assists, 14 rebounds, 51% from two, 26 from three, 50 overall, from 79 from the free throw line. Do you think that I should have had Duncan's season in there, maybe his 02, 03 season, or you cool with the Garnett one?
No, I mean, there's more left for Timmy. Yeah, we can go with that. I like KG there.
So I was really trying to get Duncan in, and I just couldn't. And I just thought to myself, I remember that run in '04 where they had him playing point guard after Sam Cassell went down, and I just thought to myself, Tim Duncan. I mean, Garnett. Garnett wasn't as good a scorer on the block, and he wasn't the post up threat he was, because I mean he didn't post up at all. He would shake while he's back to the basket and turn around and shoot, but or face up jumpers. But yeah, it was
Mhm.
just his intensity. And since I'm putting a team together, I like the intensity he brings to the five
Mhm.
else. So that's it. For my center, I got 2000 Shaq. He averaged 33, one steal, four assists, 14 rebounds, 58 from the field, 52 from the line. Did you want to put the other Superman in there over him, or is that fine?
Yeah, negative. I don't think the White has a season as messing with Shaq yet.
Mhm. So that's who I think are the best position players, their best season per position of the 2000s. When you factor in eye test numbers, what they did, what they made, um, meant to the team. Rank 'em 1 through 5. Who you got?
So I'm going. Uh, ooh.
Are you pondering? Are you
So
stuck?
I'm going Nash. So I was stuck between who I wanted to start with as number one. I think I want to go Nash as number one.
Wow, that's
Um,
stunning.
is it?
It is stunning. It
Yeah,
is
I think.
stunning. I mean, you took him over best Shaq season, best McGrady season, LeBron's MVP. Everybody else, Nash came in, I think, second that year in MVP. McGrady, I forget what he came in that year, and the other three won the MVP. I mean, that's cool if you want to go with it. I mean, I saw what he did: 58 from a point guard. You know what I mean? Scoring almost 20 a game. I
Yeah,
mean, that's some crazy efficiency.
yeah, I want to go Nash for that very reason though. Like you feel
Hmm.
me? Just like Nash wasn't getting. It's not like Nash is this a center or anything like that. Like you said, this is a point guard. Like his shots, this is pure shooting that's going on. And Nash is almost automatic. And not only that, he didn't even have to be that main scorer because he's a dish first type of player. Like he's looking to pass the ball. He's not even looking to shoot. It's just when he needs to shoot, he hot. So
Well, I want to say this too. I see all these memes all the time, and they're like, Nash won the MVP, averaging 15 and 11. And I break it down. I go, Nash didn't win the MVP because he averaged 15 and 11. He won the MVP because he took a 29 win team to 62 wins.
He
Like
controlled.
like Bill Russell. Bill Russell, he didn't put up I mean, he put up dominating rebounding numbers, but Nash put up dominating assist numbers. Um, yeah, they're not doing it because of the numbers and the stats. Some players get MVP because of the stats. These people are getting MVP because of the wins. And the wins are what matter. That's supposed to be what's valuable. That's why always one of the top records have the MVP.
Yeah. So yeah, shot. But I'm going Nash.
Hmm.
Shaq.
Hmm.
Uh, after Shaq, T Mac. Man, I want to go KG.
And then LeBron.
Yes.
That's crazy. We
No.
got a
No. No.
prime
No.
LeBron season at
LeBron then
5.
KG. LeBron then KG. My bad.
We still got a prime LeBron at 4. We got Garnett's MVP season where he just did everything at 5. That's nuts. That's crazy. Okay, so let's move on to the tens. Here's another example of a player that I took. Actually, my backcourt is because what I saw and what they meant to the team. Not necessarily because they had the best numbers or anything like that. My first person is Steph's 2016 season. He averaged 30, 0, 2 steals, 7 assists, 5 boards, 57 from 2, 45 from 3, 50 overall, 91 from the line. You got anybody else you want to add? Westbrook's triple double season, Derrick Rose's MVP season. You think that
Um, not Rose's MVP season. No, not even Westbrook's triple double season because his triple double season didn't really equate to a winning season like that. Like it wasn't a successful season overall. So
what are you talking about? They got that 5 game first round loss out of it.
yeah. But yeah, that's exactly why.
Okay, so the next one is, like I said, been better. But like I said, I saw what he meant to the team. Is Kobe's 2013 season, the year he tore the Achilles and was never the same. He was 27 points, 0 blocks, 2 steals, 5 assists, 5 rebounds, 49 from 2, 33 from 3, 46 overall, 81 from the line. You got a problem with Kobe being at the 2?
Nah, I'll let Mamba.
I got LeBron's 13 season as well. 27 points, 1 block, 2 steals, 7 assists, 8 boards. He was 60% from 2, 41 from 3, 57% overall, and he shot 75 from the line.
Mm,
Any problem with LeBron being at the 3?
no objections.
Sustained. Then we got Giannis's 2019 season, 28 points, 2 blocks, 1 steal, 6 assists, 13 rebounds, 64 from 2, 26 from 3, 58 overall, 73% from the line. Any problems with Giannis at the 4?
No,
Okay, then we got Embiid's 29th season at the 5, 28 points, 2 blocks, 1 steal, 4 assists, 14 rebounds, 54 from 2, 30% from 3, 48 overall, 80% from the line. Any problem with Embiid
no,
being the center? Okay, well,
no.
let's hear from rank them. Who we got 1 through 5?
Okay. So I think dang, I think I'm gonna start from the bottom up actually.
Okay.
So number 5. So yeah, uh,
You seem conflicted.
quite. But let's see.
Well, take us through your thought process. Don't leave us in the dark.
All right. So part of it is trying to rank who out of these has the worst stats, but it's like they're all pretty good stats. It's like even with the shooting percentages being in the 40s and stuff like that, even with the field goal percentages that are low, is due to these are centers. These are powers. These are bigger players on top of that. Um, so they're not really expected to be volume shooters like that. Like I don't Giannis isn't a shooter like that. So it doesn't really shock me if his field goal percentage isn't really that high from three or anything like that. I know how dominant Giannis and Embiid are, and even then, even in those seasons. So I'm thinking,
What's the way I would break it down if you want my input? So I would
what's
go
that?
in I would go in Embiid with the five at the fifth position because he was shooting 54 from two, shooting 30% from three, and he did that enough to bring his field goal percentage under 50. And someone like Embiid should never shoot under 50. They didn't do shit in the playoffs. So there's that. That would be five for me. Kobe would be fourth because Kobe still was shooting an inefficient clip from two. He's shooting under 50%, and his team was struggling and all that. He meant a lot to him, but he'd still be at the fourth. Giannis would be at the third, even though he had an amazing season that year at 28, 13, 64% from two. But ultimately, they fell short. Um, LeBron is number two for me because that was the first year that he really started putting all these angles and stuff and figured out really like, dude, I can shoot 50% every game, even if I try hard or not. He just really started figuring that out. And number one for me would be Steph. That's the year they went 73-9. That's the year that everybody asked if he was better than LeBron. LeBron was still in his prime at that point, and he was just dominant that season. I mean, really, it's because the team was deep and they were blowing teams out, especially when you're 73-9. So his numbers could have been so much more had they really needed it. I mean, I think he could have scored 35 to 40 easily, just, in the rhythm of the game, if they needed him more. So not like, hunting for shots, not trying to get points and all that. But that's how I would rank them. Tell me where I'm right. Tell me where I'm wrong.
I don't think you're wrong. When I was putting my thoughts together, that's pretty much how I had, and I can't even say pretty much, that is where I ended up landing as well, because I already knew that I had Steph at number one. Um, as you see, I was torn on who I wanted at number five, but I was leaning towards Embiid. Kobe, for me, didn't really have as stand out stats for me as everyone else.
Hmm.
Um, had LeBron at yeah, I had LeBron at number two actually, and Giannis at three.
I got you. Let's get into the 20s, and some of these are current seasons, and we're kind of going to go where it see where it goes. Obviously, this can be beat, but I went ahead and had Luca at the point this year. Luca, he's averaging 35, a block, two steals, 10 assists, 9 rebounds, 58 from two, 38 from three, 50 overall, 78 from the line. You think maybe we should go with traditional point guard, or since that's the position he plays now, or what's up?
No, because that's the position that he plays. So
I
that's
will always
what
consider
that's
him a
not.
small forward.
I get it. I mean,
Yeah.
Steph's not the traditional point guard either, but he's still a point. Like that's the position he's been playing for all of these years. So if they're gonna keep Luke at a point, that's what we gotta rank him as.
I'll tell you what's crazy about Steph's stats. If you got rid of the name and the team and you didn't know whose stats they were and you were just looking at the numbers in the columns and you really understood numbers, he has a classic dominant two guard shoot statistical numbers.
See?
I got James Harden's 20 season at the two guard, 34 points, block, two steals, 8 assists, 7 rebounds, 56 from two, 36 from three, 44 overall, 87 from the line. Any problem with Harden at the two?
No,
I got LeBron's 22 season at the three. He's 30 points, a block, a steal, 6 assists, 8 rebounds, 62 from two, 36 from three, 52 overall, 76 from the line. Any problems with that?
no.
Then we got Giannis's current season. He's 31
Mm,
points, one block, one steal, 6 assists, 11 rebounds, 65 from two, 30% from three, 62 overall, 66 from the line. And then I have Jokic's 22 season. Um, And I know that Jokic won it last year, but I think the team got a lot better last year. The year prior to that, they were dealing with the Murray injury and all that. I think 22 was the best Jokic I've seen. Um, I think the numbers reflect that. Just he didn't have the team help, so they weren't winning as much. But I think, yeah, 22 Jokic was awesome. He had 27 points, a block, 2 steals, 8 assists, 14 rebounds, 65 from two, 34 from three, 58 for overall, 81 from the line. I'll tell you one thing: everybody thinks Jokic is a good 3 point shooter. He's mediocre. He's an average 3 point shooter. 33, 34, 32, somewhere in there. He's not as good as everybody thinks. But out of those five, can you rank the seasons for us?
Well, I can't. But hold on, real quick. I think part of the thing with Jokic though is the fact that we're seeing these larger guards. We're seeing these larger players shooting. So it's the fact that, yeah, 30 some percent is not that great, but at the same time, he's not really shooting that many threes. So what that basically means is every game he might get you a 3 pointer. You feel me? So it's just like we're not accustomed to seeing that. So he's gonna get a little praise just based off the fact that he can consistently give you a 3 pointer every game. Anyway, as far as the ranking goes, my bad. Number one, I'm going with Jokic.
Okay. 27,
Number
14, and 8.
Yeah, I'm going with
Okay.
Jokic. And then I think I'm going with Luca.
35, 10, and 9.
Luca, Giannis.
And we just got LeBron or Harden.
I think I'm gonna go Harden then LeBron.
See, I'd go LeBron, Harden, but I feel you. You know how we've been talking about defense and all that, and how they need to make changes, and the league is too offense eccentric now. So check this out: the top five guys from the 20s, they are shooting from two anywhere from 56 to 65%. The 2010s was anywhere from 49 to 64. The 2000s was anywhere from 48 to 58. The 90s was anywhere from 51 to 56. The 80s were anywhere from, what is it, 51 to 64. And that's the only ones that we got the breakdowns on. But you got to think about that, is there is nobody under 56% from the 20s. There was two people under 56% in the 10s. There was three people in the 2000s. There was four in the 90s, and there was four in the 80s. So that's what I'm saying. The lowest person now shooting from two is 56, when that would be the one of the best shooting percentages in the other decades.
There's been all all kind of emphasis and all kind of focus on developing that shot, which is good. The evolution of the jumper.
I think it's the evolution of the less hand checking, the less D, the less we'll save ourselves for offense, that kind of stuff. That's what it's seeming like. I don't know. But on that note, we're gonna be out. So make sure you like, subscribe. Thanks for joining us, and we will check y'all tomorrow.